Proverbs 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Call Allah Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Shalom to the old like men that scattered abroad, pushing this truth without sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to your very few sincere sisters that's taking heed and getting order in these last days. Right, I'm the brother Amawan, coming into the video, Lord, when it's edifying, right? And it's just more so of a news update, right? Where we at within prophecy. We know the Lord is ultimately stirring these things up, man. Right? Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to that, you know. And if you've been paying attention, well, hopefully I'm able to give out more information to help you, you know, understand what's going on as well, right? But excuse me, we're seeing these wars, man, right? We're seeing these wars brew up, right? You just had Trump had he gave China, right? He gave them a new tariff, you know. It jumped up, right? It jumped up to 104%, man. Matter of fact, this is not the one I had wanted. It was this one. You know, it went from up to 84%, right? No, China is at 84%. It's like it to America, right? But I forgot what was the last number America had on China. Can't remember off the top of my head, but the point is, right? America has went up again to China, and China has, you know, clapped back with an 84% tariff. You know, so things are definitely changed, right? We're definitely in a time of war, right? Like the book of Ecclesiastes states, you know, we're definitely in that time. We also seeing the Lord putting the spirit of these kings, right? These leaders, right? Of the different nations to get ready for war, you know? And I forgot which articles. I got like 3 different articles I had, you know, pulled up. But excuse me. China, right, was already saying that they're willing to go. They're not going down without a fight. You know, so these tariffs are finna get ugly, right? And that just also proves where we at within prophecy. Matter of fact, let me just grab that right quick. In the book of Matthew 24, and I'm gonna start at 3, and I'm gonna jump down to the point, right? Because it was a question that, you know, the disciples they needed an answer to, you know. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, like in Matthew 24 verse 3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world, right? The end of this eon, right? This rulership, right? When is going to be the end, right? And, you know, as you go into it, the Lord pretty much was like, well, these are indicators. I can't tell you the day nor the hour, right? Because Lord Yahweh doesn't know the time nor the hour, right? Only Yahweh does, right? And at a certain given point, you know, Yahweh will, you know, make his return. But within that time period, right, he said, hey, just watch out for these indicators, right? Watch out for these things that's finna take place in the earth, right? So I'm going to jump to verse 6. It says, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. Right? And we hearing about these wars. You know, they're actually brewing up now. Right? They're finna start really, you know, gonna start hitting nigga pockets later on in the summer. Lord willing. Right? Because the 104% tariff from Trump to China, right? That take effects on Wednesday. You know? So it's definitely seeing these things. And with wars like this, are going to definitely make Jacob Trouble pop off, right? All hell break loose, you know? Because after a while, it's going to get, you know, verbal. Then it's going to get physical, right? It says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, right? Because at the end of the day, right, all roads going to lead to the MOTB. So things going to have to pop off to where it's going in sync to what to lead up to the MOTB, you know? Verse 7, it says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, right? So therefore it's not all of that, you know, go along, get along spirit, man. They rising against each other now, you know. Excuse me. It says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places, right? And that's that one main one right there. We have to see, you know, famines. You know, especially if, with the imports, right? I remember at one, I forgot which year it was. I think it was 22, year 2023. I think it was probably year 2023, but China was like number 3 when it comes to being, getting imports, man. It's like Russia, China, and America. Not in specific, not in that order, but those main 3, right? Because a lot of people go to China and get imports, exports, So with all of these tariffs, that means things are start spiking up. But the thing is, there might be a lot of famines, right? And and a famine will really actually help Jacob Trouble pop off as well, because out here in America, they're stuck on gluttony, don't know how to fast, right? Always eat, right? And this scripture to go into that, right? So I'm gonna kind of be, over the place. I just want to just bring out these points, Let me just hit this video right quick.
It sounds ridiculous, but they charge us for many items 100%, 125%. Many countries, they've ripped us off left and right. But now it's our turn to do the ripping.
All right, so hey, there you go. All right, that's how. That's what we know where we're at within prophecy, man. War is here, and this is a form of war. It's a trade war, right? If I could just get that definition in right quick. Matter of fact, let me go to a different. Just want to pull up a couple of the definitions, because I had a couple of them I had brought up just so you can see for yourself and maybe able to write it down, right? I got a couple of definitions. I'm gonna get the definition for price surge, inflation, hyperinflation, and tariff, which we should already know, but I don't mind putting it back up there. Right, so it says a trade war is an economic conflict where countries implement and increase tariffs. Well, there go tariffs right there. I could just, Google that from right there. It says, and other trade barriers against each other, often in response to similar measures by the opposing party, resulting in a cycle of retaliatory actions. Right, so they're going back and forth. But think about it, it's gonna like Salakia. The beloved brother Shamak had just did a video on it. I was watching it, right? And it was the Yapa video, but right? But it's gonna, with America throwing 104% on China, it's gonna definitely pain China, right? But it's also gonna strike, it's gonna pain America as well, man, right? Both parties are gonna feel it. In my opinion, shit, America gonna feel it worse, because we worms over here, man. We can't do for ourselves, man. Like you said, like all our stuff comes from China. A lot of our stuff comes from China, man. Matter of fact, I had a slack for jumping, but I just want to bring this out while I'm saying it. I had just Googled it. It was like things that come from China. It says electronics, clothing, textiles, machinery, and various consumer goods, right? So we already know that a lot of electronics and clothing comes from over there, So what? And that means a lot of people will not have the things that they want, like iPhones, certain clothes that you may like, right? I remember seeing about the like he had mentioned, the Air Force Ones, and hey, a lot of brothers love them, and they're a basic shoe, but hey, a lot of folks wear them and love them. But with a tariff of 84%, tell them what the price is gonna look like on them things. I know it's gonna be over 200. For some shoes that you really only could wear 3 times, and that's it. Right? But you got electronics, clothing, and then not to mention, you got you have tariffs from Mexico too, produce goods, man. So yeah, we all around the board. It's evidence, like it's evident that we know where we at within prophecy, man. Right, so let me go back to this trade war, and let me get the rest of those definitions. Yeah. So yeah, I pretty much brought that one out. Excuse me. I read the definition right here. It says a trade war is a situation where two or more countries engage in a conflict by raising tariffs. Right. Matter of fact, let me get the word for tariffs right quick. Right. A tax or duty to be paid on a particular class or of imports or exports. Right. So being being taxed. Right. So I'm gonna substitute that word tariff for taxes. Right. It says a trade war is a situation where two or more countries engage in a conflict by raising tax, imposing quotas, or implementing other trade barriers to protect their domestic industries or retaliate against perceived unfair trade practices. Excuse me. Tariffs are taxes on imported goods, and increasing them can make imported goods more expensive, potentially harming consumers and business that rely on those imports. Right? If you a LLC person and you trying to get your shit from China, hey, the LLC finna be shut down. You're not gonna have the money to keep buying it, right? You're not gonna have money to participate in this back and forth what they got going on, man. Right. So like I said, it's gonna definitely take effect on the people more than anything, right? Because we don't sit at the same table as these elites, these governors, and we don't sit at their table, man. So it's definitely gonna affect us. Kind of, and I understand, we're already at that time of war. So I have tariffs out the way, so I'm not gonna worry about that one no more. I can get price surge. Salaki. No. Price surge. Yeah. It's really about the same as, inflation and hyperinflation, right? Not too far from it, right? But it says surge pricing is a type of dynamic pricing where prices fluctuate based on real-time market conditions rather than being fixed. And think about it, right? Things are going up, right? They're not talking about come to no agreement, right? Both of them is being hard towards each other, right? If you're going to go 84, we're going 104. So ain't no telling what the hell that shit may say by tomorrow, man. Trump, China may goddamn make it to in the hundreds. But my personal opinion, they are all working, right? They're all working to bring out this MOTB because they know that they have to collapse this one system. They're bringing this new system, right? To have everybody on this one, be on this digital ID thing, So, excuse me. I definitely can see that, But they have to come in with it. They had to be. What it said, they had to be on one consent, right? Psalms 83, right? So let me. Matter of fact, let me go to this other one right quick for China, and just read some of this and go to the rest of the definition. And I got a couple of scriptures, and I'm gonna close out with that, right? So this right here is on CNBC.com. It says China slaps 84% retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods in response to Trump. It said China has pushed back again on U.S. President Donald Trump tariff policies by hiking its levies on U.S. imports more than 80%. Right, and that levies going to what? More so just fees, man. Right, so it's to impose a tax, fee, or fine. Right, so they putting a fine up. They going up. Right. They're going up on their imports to more than 80%, which would be 84%. It says tariffs on U.S. goods entering China will rise to 84% from 34% starting April 10th. So that's going to what, tomorrow? Right. According to a translation of Office of the Tariff Commission of the State Council announcement, right, the hike comes in response to the latest U.S. tariff increase of China's goods to more than 100% that began at midnight, right? Which came in, at midnight of last night, So yeah, it's definitely brewing up, man. And like I said, call all you how about Shemi Shot because the Lord is definitely finna have major thing. What it says in the book of Amos, how the Lord calls. Let me grab it right quick. He's definitely cranking it up. Amos 3 verse 6, it says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people be not afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it? That's what I was thinking about. Right? The Lord definitely bring out the evil time, right? He's finna have a lot of evil going on, man, right? Because niggas not gonna be able to sustain themselves with these tariffs going up each and every day. You know? So with all that being said, right? Matter of fact, I didn't get the Salakia. Grab these last two and I'm gonna grab some more scriptures and that's it. Right? It says inflation in economics is a sustained increase in the general price level of goods and services in the economy over a period of time, right? So it's a sustained, right? So let's get the word for sustain. Continuing for an extended period or without interruption, right? So it's at a constant, a constant slope going up, right? So let's get that one for hyperinflation. Because if they skipping, it's different. It's a different when you're going from 1%, 2%, 3%. You got a constant slope. A slow increase compared to hyperinflation when you just skipping numbers. You're going from 20 to 60 to 120. I'll just keep it together. Right. Hyperinflation is a situation where the prices of all goods and services rise uncontrollably and extremely rapidly, often exceeding 50% or more per month, leading to a significant erosion of the value of currency. Right. So it is on off the charts, and it's like, what the fuck? Like I'm not gonna lie, when I heard 34%, I was like, damn. So now they hear 104, it's like, damn, like, man, the Lord is cranking this shit up, and who's gonna feel it? Right, the people, man. Right. So with all that being said, let me grab a couple of scriptures right quick. Lord willing, that was some edification, letting you know where we at within prophecy, just blowing the trumpet. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 1 and 2. And it reads, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Right? And what we always been talking about, class wars, gender wars, race wars, right? Trade wars, WW3 itself, we've been warning you about this. Right now we're in that time of it actually being made manifested, man. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Right? This is the source we're reading from, man. I'm telling you the blueprint. Right? Verse 18, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right? For because of their pride the city shall be troubled. Right? Because America will be troubled, man. Right? These tariffs is not gonna be it's a lot, that's being smacked onto China, but it's definitely a lot to be smacked onto America as well, man. Right? And people are not gonna know how to maneuver with these tariffs, man. Right? It said, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right? This shit finna shake niggas up, man. And like we always say, if men gonna be out here fucked up, man, how much more you weaker vessel women, And these men ain't, gonna be out here. They gonna be pretty bad. They gonna be in pretty bad condition, man, because they don't know what's going on. Right? Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Right? So niggas finna really be on some, showing no pity towards one another, man. Disregarding the fact that the person got little kids, right? Hey, nigga, that's all out the window, man. Because why? They can't sustain them, so they don't know about the scriptures, right? Isaiah 33 and 6. The book of Isaiah 65, right? They disregarded the time of the Lord's mercy. So it said they're gonna spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. It ain't no food. They can't go buy nothing. Everything too high. You know, so they don't mind going to the next door neighbor. You know, excuse me, and hey, having their way with them, right? Running inside their spots, stealing their goods, man. Right, and the next one is 2 Esdras 16 and 20 and 21. 21, 22, Salaki. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. You know, and that's what we warning our people, man. We warning you, right? It was good at first. Shit was cheap, but now that shit is skyrocketing overnight, man. Right? We just woke up to 104% tariff smacked into China, and the 84% that goes into effect on Wednesday for us. You know, so these prices are definitely going to be start changing pretty soon, right? Call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I can read 22 as well, y'all. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Right? So a lot of folks are gonna be, hey, death's gonna be in the air. You know, put it like that. You know, but yeah, Lord willing, this was edifying. I just want to bring out a couple of points. Blowing the trumpet, man. Blowing the trumpet of where we at. Blowing the trumpet in Zion. Letting you know that, hey, these tariffs is definitely going to be here real soon in your local grocery store real soon, man. Right? So I'm going to close up by giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Shem Kakadash. On to the next one. Shalom.